Not long ago, I was asked this question: what's more important, speed or accuracy? And many of you would go, well, accuracy. Speed's the most important thing. The faster you can get this to go, the faster you can get the golf ball to go. And as a result, the farther the golf ball is going to go, which means with a driver, you're going to hit it farther. And with your irons, you're obviously going to hit it farther. But what will happen is you'll have shorter distances into these green complexes, into these hole locations. And when that starts happening, you now get to play with more loft. And when you play with more loft gives you more backspin, and more backspin offsets side spin or axis tilt. And when that starts to happen to you, if you get a lot of side spin or axis tilt, now we're hitting lots of curves. When we're hitting shots with more lofted clubs, it goes straighter. So distance is more important because it will affect accuracy. It's not the opposite way around. Accuracy does not necessarily affect distance, but distance will affect accuracy. So distance is the most important, speed's the most important, and today I want to talk to you about how to create more speed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and remind your friends, hey, this channel, you're going to improve your golf game, and I appreciate you letting everybody know. Now, let's talk about this for a second. What creates speed? Well, obviously, rotating your body creates more speed than if you're sliding your body or swaying your body. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of sway, get rid of slide, and get into turning or rotating the body, okay? So what I see so many people, and I gave a lesson not long ago to this exact same point. And this gentleman that I was teaching, a little older guy, he's about 60, and I said to him, what are you doing? He says, I'm trying to turn more. Okay, what are you turning? Well, I'm turning my left shoulder. Okay, why are you turning as a right-handed player? Why are you working on turning your lead shoulder? And he said, well, because that's what I was told to do. A lot of people have read Golf My Way, and a lot of people have misinterpreted, I think, what Jack Nicklaus was sharing. What Jack Nicklaus shared was he wanted to get his lead shoulder, his left shoulder, behind the golf ball. Now, that doesn't mean that he did or didn't think about his lead shoulder or left shoulder. And it doesn't mean necessarily that that's the best way for you to rotate your body. What I see a lot of people do is when they move that lead shoulder like this, they move it down. And when I move this down, if you watch this hip's going to kick out. Because what happens is you drop down, you don't rotate, you drop down. And when you drop down, you get into some problems. Let me hit one for you and show you what I mean. So in here like this, I'm going to take this down here like that. I'm going to tilt that lead shoulder down, and then I strike that ball. And now, what we get is, come on up here and look at these numbers, because this is important. What you're going to see take place is plenty of club head speed, 83 miles an hour, plenty of ball speed, 118 miles an hour. So that's all good. But what happens is that my golf ball with a 6-iron, which is what I have here, releases out about 6 yards. The launch angle is at 16, the apex is at 80. And of course, my descent angle is now about 41 degrees. Now, why is that? Well, it is because the angle of attack of the golf club is steep. I haven't maximized my speed yet, but because this club is so steep coming into this, and I got a really good strike and I got some pretty good club head speed there, 83 miles an hour, not bad at all. But the ball's coming out really low. It doesn't stay in the air as long. When it lands on the green, it releases more, and I lose some backspin. Now watch what happens here. What I'm going to do is this time, I'm going to make sure that my body is rotating with a different swing thought. And what I'm going to get is, I'm going to get a higher apex, a higher launch, and more distance. Now, come in here and look at what happened. So not my best strike. I drew that one. Not my best strike, but the backspin went up about 5,000 RPMs. My club head speed went up 2 miles an hour. Now I'm at 85. Ball speed on a miss hit, ball speed went up to 119. So all of that is faster and better. And what ends up happening is my launch angle gets to 19 instead of 16. That's a benefit to me. My apex goes to 98 feet. That's also a benefit. And the ultimate benefit is this. I carried it 81 yards and it only rolled out about 3.5 yards. a whole lot better. And I'm not even talking about how to maximize the speed or what you need to think about to maximize that club head speed, but that club head speed went up, the launch angle went up, the apex went up, and ultimately ball speed goes up. All right? And on a miss hit. Now, here's where you're going to get your speed. I want you to think about rotating your hips. So many of you were thinking about this lead shoulder. Not a great idea. I want you to think about rotating your hips. I'm going to give you some other thoughts here in a second, but I want you to think about rotating your hips. And what's going to happen when you rotate your hips is your hands are going to get a little bit deeper. And when your hands get a little bit deeper, now all of a sudden the club's going to come in from the inside. It's going to be a little bit shallower, and that's going to launch the ball a little bit higher, give you a little bit more speed. So, rotating the hips. And now what you're going to see is this one is a whole lot farther, a whole lot higher, a whole lot of everything goes into this. So now my club head speed goes up to 88 miles an hour, just rotating the hips. The ball speed goes up to 125. That's an enormous jump from 118, and even a bigger jump, right, than I was expecting. And ultimately what happens is that ball carried 193 yards and it rolls out to 197 yards. So basically a 4-yard rollout, high apex 99 feet. All that's a whole lot better. Look at the descent angle. Now it's 44.4 because it's higher, because it's got more speed. And that's with a draw spin, 653 RPMs of left spin. I'm getting rid of the slice. I'm getting rid of that steep angle of attack. The club's going faster, the ball's going farther. And when that starts to happen, you're going to play better golf. That's rotating the hips. Now, let me give you another idea of a rotation. You want to think about something that you're doing in your upper body. Let's say you're one of those people. I'm fine with that. I don't care what you think about. I just don't want you to think about what you're doing with your lead shoulder. Because the lead shoulder can move without moving my sternum. So I can move this shoulder. I can rotate it in. If I stand like this and I go like that, see how my shoulder actually moves? I can fake a turn, but my chest isn't moving at all. So what I want to do is I want to get my chest to move. One way to get the chest to move is to rotate the hips. If I rotate my hips, my chest is going to move. Another way to do it is to take my trail shoulder and get it behind my neck. And when I start moving that trail shoulder, now all of a sudden I'm going to get full body rotation. And when I get full body rotation, now I'm going to get some club head speed. So in here like this, rotate that shoulder back. My hands are going to get deep, and now all of a sudden I'm going to be able to deliver more club head speed into this golf ball. And, by the way, get rid of my slice. This one is also pulverized. So watch this. This is going to go about the same distance as the one that I just hit. In fact, almost identical distance there. Now look at what happened. Again, club head speed goes up to 87.4. Ball speed's at 124. Now, it's not 125, but it's a whole lot better than 118. A whole lot better. Now look at my distance. 191 for 196. Extremely similar. Did it have the same apex? No, but it was close. Had the similar launch angle and similar descent angle. And all that stuff adds up to greater distance. That's turning this shoulder. So now I've got two choices. I can turn hips and I can turn the trail shoulder. I'm going to give you one more. And that is this. When you make a good full turn and you rotate properly, your back will be to the target. So let's turn the back to the target. Now let's see what happens when I turn my back to the target. Obviously, my chest will be facing away from the target. Obviously, my shoulders will have turned at least 90 degrees, maybe more. And what will then happen is when my back is to the target, now all of a sudden my hands will be deep again, and I'm going to hit another draw. Again, getting rid of that slice. Get rid of the slice, you're going to add some distance. So, back to the target. I hit that fat. You can't count that one. Well, actually, you can count it. So come on up here. I'm going to show you this. Now, these numbers are bad, except for one number. And that is club head speed. My club head speed is the fastest yet. That was 88 miles an hour. My ball speed's at 118. I hit it fat. It was horrible. But my club head speed was 88. And all of a sudden, when you start getting a little bit more speed in the club head, you got a chance to get a little bit more distance out of the golf ball. So good thought, just not comfortable with it. It doesn't mean stop the thought. It means get better at the thought, get more comfortable with the thought. Let's go get one more, see if we can get comfortable with that back to the target thing again. Let's see if we can get that 88 again. Let's see if we can get some distance that's going to sniff 200 out of this 6-iron. This is going to sniff it. I don't know how close it's going to get to it. So this one, here you go. So there you go. Perfect. So I got 88.1. Same exact thing. I got 125 ball speed. A lot faster than that fat one that was sitting at 117.5. And now look at my distance. 192 for 195. Why? Well, because my apex was a little bit higher. Went up to 107. And my descent angle's at 46.2. So that might be my most effective swing thought. Even though the other ones created more club head speed than what I had prior, not max like this one. What I got out of this shot, though, was a ball that started a bit more to the right. It still had the draw, 452 RPMs of draw spin. So I still got what I wanted, but now my launch angle went up 18.4 instead of like hovering in the 17s. So that goes up. So my apex goes up to 107. And the difference between where my ball landed and where my ball rolled out was only 3 yards, 9 feet. So that one I can play with. So all this means my best swing thought, and by the way, my backspin's at about 5,000. My best swing thought, my most productive swing thought to add speed for me personally is the back. And what I recommend to you is to experiment with all these. Turn your hips, turn your shoulder, turn your trail shoulder rather, turn your back to the target and see what happens. See which creates more club head speed. See which creates more distance out of the golf ball, better apex, better flight characteristics. All those things you want to pay attention to. And when you've done that, you're going to have discovered how to create maximum speed. And once you get that speed, now all of a sudden you'll gain some more accuracy. I promise. I'm doing this with a 6-iron, but imagine how good this is going to be when I'm hitting a driver or I'm hitting a fairway wood. Now I'm hitting the ball closer to that green, and now I've got a sand wedge or a pitching wedge into the green instead of hitting 7s and 6-irons in there. Give it a try. I'm telling you, you're going to love what you find. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.